Chapter 2294. What's going on? Pudding was watching TV in the living room and shivered in fear. She immediately realized it must be her daughter's doing. Mom, come out. Where are you? Gao Buyan was so scared that he called out for his mom. Zhu Lingling heard her son scream and ran out of the kitchen, followed by Huo Min. Then Gao Ran and Qin Chu came out from the other room. They looked at Gao Bu. Son, what's wrong? Zhu Lingling hugged the little boy. There's a ghost in my room. A ghost? Are you kidding me? Zhu Lingling frowned. Please, Did you have a nightmare? Gao Ran was also confused by his son's words. No, it's not a dream. For real. I was hit by a ghost. I was scared to death. Gao Buyan was so scared that he hugged Zhu Lingling's neck tightly. I'll go check it out. Gao Ran was about to go when Pudding said, Uncle Gao, it's not a ghost. Might be. Little Bean playing with Buyan. In fact, Pudding felt embarrassed after she said that. Hearing Little Bean's words, Qin Chu and Huo Min's faces fell, knowing their daughter must have caused trouble. Little Bean, come out. Huo Min yelled in a serious tone. Mommy. Little Bean seemed to know she had caused trouble and walked out of the room with her head down. Qin Mumu. How dare you play with me? Gao Buyuan was really angry. His lazy nap was disturbed by this girl and almost scared out of his wits. Little brother Buyan, I'm just playing with you. Why did you take it seriously? Little Bean began to act cute. How can you play with me like that? You're trying to scare me to death. Auntie Mion, I think Little Bean needs a beating. Gao Buyan knew why Little Bean was so scared of Huo Min, so he complained. Mommy, I really didn't do it on purpose. I was just teasing him. Little Bean pouted. That's good. They're all kids. It's okay. Zhu Lingling tried to smooth things over, afraid that Huo Min would teach Little Bean a lesson. Son, you are also finished. You were scared by a little girl. How can you be a police officer with your dad in the future? Gao Ran laughed. What does this have to do with being a police officer? She's purposely pranking me. This is unforgivable. Obviously, the handsome guy was angry. Little Bean, why are you still standing there? Why aren't you apologizing to Buyan? Pudding saw her mother's expression and was afraid that her sister would be beaten. Hurry up and give her ideas. Hearing her sister's words, she immediately ran over and took Gao Buyan's hand. Buyan, I was wrong. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. I just wanted to get you up and play with us. I haven't seen you for a long time and I really miss you. Come on, give me a kiss. After saying this, Little Bean kissed Gao Buyan on the cheek. Gao Buyuan's face immediately turned red. Obviously, he didn't have much confidence. Gao Ran nudged Qin Chu with his elbow. Look. Mr. Qin, your daughter is playing the honey trap at such a young age. Your son seems to enjoy it too, Qin Chu said calmly. Zhu Lingling couldn't help but chuckle. Son, Little Bean has already apologized. Don't hold it against her, okay? Let's be men. Look at Wei Yunchu, he doesn't make a fuss over nothing. Chapter 2295. Wei Yunchu is so lucky to be with Pudding. Why am I so unlucky? Gao Buyan crossed his arms and said angrily. Pudding pouted. Hey Gao Buyan, what do you mean by that? You seem to feel wronged about our marriage. If you don't like it, we can change. I'll go find Wei Yunchu and you can be with my sister. But let me warn you, my sister has more tricks up her sleeves than I do. Don't cry when the time comes and don't regret it. If you don't know how lucky you are. Then Pudding turned around and ran to the balcony, ignoring everyone else. Gosh, you two are already talking about your marriage. How embarrassing. But Gao Buyan, you're shameless. Little Bean must be mad. Go and comfort her. Gao Ran encouraged his son. She was the one who started it. How did it become my fault? Gao Buyan was also confused. So, you two are fighting and you want Wei Yunchu and me to be implicated? Pudding glanced at them quietly, expressing her helplessness. Hey. Since there's nothing else, let's go back to the kitchen. Geez, you're wasting my time. Then Zhu Lingling dragged Huo Min back into the kitchen. Gao Ran also dragged Qin Chu back to the study to play games. Pudding was still calmly watching TV and eating fruit as if nothing had happened. Gao Buyan went into his room to change and wash his face. When he came out, he found that Pudding was still mad. Pudding, is she still mad? Gao Buyan asked in a small voice. What do you think? Pudding tilted her head and looked at him. Then what should we do? Gao Buyan was at a loss. Comfort her. How? I don't know how. Gao Buyuan was in a difficult position. Let me give you a reminder. Pudding likes jam. Then Pudding continued watching TV. Gao Buiyuan immediately understood. He ran to the snack cabinet in his room, took out a bag of Oreos and a piece of chocolate and walked over. Little Bean, he called. Pudding pretended not to see him. Little Bean, don't be mad. Go away, don't bother with me. Don't you hate me? Don't you like big sister? No, I didn't mean that. I just said it casually. Just like you, I was just teasing you. Girls teasing boys is teasing and boys teasing girls is bullying. Do you understand? Little Bean said righteously. Really? Gao Buiyuan scratched his head, not knowing what to do. I used to think that even though you're a little ugly, you're silly and cute. I didn't expect you to be so vulgar. You even compared yourself to Wei Yunchu. You're such an idiot. I don't like you anymore. I kissed you for nothing. You dirted my mouth. Then Little Bean wiped her mouth carelessly. Gao Buiyuan thought for a long time and said, how about I kiss you back and return it to you? Fuck you. Little Bean was on the verge of breaking down. Little Bean, don't be mad. Here, have some Oreos. Gao Buiyuan raised his left hand and handed her an Oreo. Little Bean glanced at him. You want to bribe me with a bag of crappy biscuits? No way. Do you want the chocolate? My mom handmade it. She bought all the ingredients herself. It's delicious and soft, Gao Buiyuan continued to tempt her. Chocolate. Seeing the food, Little Bean's heart softened. Here, have a bite. Gao Buiyuan continued to tempt her. I can't be so shameless. If I eat your chocolate, I'll forgive you. I don't want it. Humph. Little Bean clenched her teeth and insisted. Chapter 2296. I see. Forget it then. I'll give it to Pudding. He can have some alone time. I won't disturb you. With that, Gao Buiyuan turned to leave. Stop. What? Gao Buiyuan turned around. Are you apologizing or not? Gao Buiyuan, do you have any sincerity? Little Bean was not convinced. I am sincere. Otherwise, why would I try so hard to please you? I'm not that free. Then, open the chocolate for me. Little Bean said in a low voice. Okay. Gao Buiyuan smiled and opened the chocolate for her. Little Bean took it and took a bite. Then she nodded with satisfaction. The taste is indeed different. Have some. I have a lot more at home. Oh, I'll bring you some when I leave. Little Bean finally smiled. Looking at the two, Pudding was bored. She took out her phone and sent a WeChat message to Suyu. Pudding, handsome Sue, where are you? Suyu, what's up, Pudding? Pudding, it's so annoying to see someone showing off their love in front of me. Come and play chess with me. Suyu, Pudding, I'm at the airport. Pudding, the airport? Why are you at the airport? Suyu, I'm on a business trip. I'm invited to the annual meeting of my partner's company. Pudding, I thought you would come to the party today. For a moment, Pudding was very disappointed. Suyu, I know about the party. Your mom told me about it. Unfortunately, it's happening at the same time. I'm afraid I'll go next time. There will be a lot of parties anyway. Pudding, okay. Be careful. Tell them you're safe when you land. I know. Kiddo, don't worry about me. Have fun with Pudding and Little Bean. Bully Wei Yunchu and Gao Buiyuan. Pudding, I don't need you to tell me that. Suyu, good job. After texting Suyu, Pudding went back to watching TV calmly. Not long after, everyone arrived one after another and the room suddenly became lively. And Yang and Qinjia bought a lot of delicious fruits and snacks for the children. Qinjia was very virtuous and went straight into the kitchen to help. And Yang sat on the sofa and watched TV with Pudding. Then there was Wei Liao and Jiang Shaowei's family of 3. Wei Yunchu had a good relationship with Gao Buiyuan because they were both boys. The 3 kids ran into Gao Buiyuan's room and played with all kinds of toy guns. Rick and Cece came next. They kept a low profile and also bought a lot of fruits and food. Rick went straight to the study to look for Qin Chu while Cece went into the kitchen to help wash the vegetables. The last to arrive were Tang Chuan and Qin Ning. The 2 of them arrived late. When they arrived, it was almost lunchtime. Poor Tang, you're late. No, you have to drink 3 cups as punishment. Wei Liao joked. No problem. I'll be fine even if I drink 6 cups. I came here today with a target that I'd like to fight. Tang Chuan said. What goal? Huimin chuckled. Drink all of you until you're drunk. Tang Chuan waved his hand and bragged without thinking. Why do I feel like we're short of people? Where's Lord Su? Jiang Xiaowei didn't know that Suyu wasn't coming, so she asked curiously. Mian, didn't you tell Suyu? Zhu Lingling remembered that Huamin told her to tell Suyu. I told him. Suyu said he had something to do today and won't be coming. I think he's on a business trip. Huamin recalled. Pudding nodded. I just sent handsome Su a WeChat message. He's at the airport. Oh, I see. That's too bad. I thought it would be a big party. Zhu Lingling was a bit disappointed. It's good that Lord Su isn't coming. He's going to lie low for a while. Tang Chuan interrupted. What do you mean? Did Suyu get into trouble? Huamin looked at Tang Chuan in confusion. Don't tell me you guys don't know about the rumor about Lord Su? Tang Chuan looked at everyone curiously. What rumor? Huamin's heart skipped a beat and he asked seriously. Chapter 2297. It looks like you guys really don't know? Tang Chuan didn't say it was a rumor and continued to talk about it. Everyone's faces were filled with confusion. Uncle Tang, if you don't hurry up, I think my mom is going to flip out. Pudding said calmly. Everyone knew that Huamin cared a lot about Suyu. Although she never had any romantic feelings for him, she was always grateful that he took care of her and her mother over the years. Therefore she was always considerate of Suyu. At first Mr. Qin was slightly jealous, but later he understood how his wife felt. Don't be like that, Vice Director Hua is scary when she flips out. I'll tell you, okay? Looking at your confused faces, I know that you guys don't know. Here's the thing. Rumors started in the industry that Lord Su doesn't like women anymore and likes men. When he was young he had enough of women and now he's changed his taste. They even suspect that he's having an affair with his assistant. Tang Chuan cut the long story short. Everyone's reaction was as interesting as it could get. Zhu Lingling, really? That's so melodramatic. Do they really think this is the most melodramatic drama of the year? Homosexuality. Oh my god. Gao Ran, this is a bit ridiculous. Ziyu would be furious if he knew. Tang Chuan, he doesn't know yet. Who would dare to tell him? With his temper he'd flip the world upside down. Plus, people in the industry only dare to talk about it in private. No one dares to offend him. And Yang, people in the company did talk about it, but they didn't dare to make a big deal out of it. They were afraid that President Su would get mad. All the celebrities seemed to know about it. I heard that a few of them tried to get close to President Su, but he rejected them all. Cece, but you can't say that President Su is gay, right? My sister also has a crush on President Su. She knitted him a scarf, but President Su rejected her. If he rejected her, it means he doesn't love her. It has nothing to do with being gay. These people really have nothing better to do. Even Cece started to stand up for Suyu. Rick handed Cece a glass of water. Calm down, you're still injured, Rick reminded her in a low voice. Wei Liao, this happened a few years ago. Back then there were rumors that young Master Su, young Master Tang and I were all gay. After I got married, Tang Chuan started fooling around and young Master Su confessed to Huamian. The rumors died down. Why are you bringing it up again? Jiang Xiaowei, those people are just blindly making a fuss. We're sick of hearing these words. And they're hiding like they don't know where they are and they're hiding, they's like they're hiding. They's like hiding there's like they're hiding. And they've been spreading they read teat like that. Pudding said calmly. Then she took out her phone and opened Weibo. Mian, what do you think? Zhu Lingling asked Huamin with a smile. Everyone knows that Suyu isn't gay. There's nothing to say about it. Smart people don't believe in rumors. If people continue to cause trouble, Suyu won't forgive them, Huamin said word by word. That's for sure. Our Lord Su's temper is like heaven and earth. It's a good thing he went on a business trip. Otherwise, who knows how angry he would be right now. Tang Chuan exclaimed. It happened a few days ago. Why didn't you tell us? Wei Liao complained. Chapter 2298. I didn't think much of it. I thought it would be over in a few days. Who knew that it would get more and more dangerous? Now it's even related to an... Tang Chuan replied. Then, do you guys think that Suyu took things too hard and... Qin Ning didn't know much about Suyu. She only knew that Suyu had been in love with his sister-in-law for years without any regrets. So she guessed that Suyu had a crush on her and couldn't get her. So he changed his mind and, before Huamin could refute Qin Ning's words, Qin Chu, who had been silent the whole time, spoke up. No, he won't do that no matter what. See, even President Qin, his love rival, is trying to clear Lord Su's name. Ning Ning, don't talk nonsense, okay? It's about Lord Su's innocence. I'll get someone to look into it later. Everyone pay attention to the situation, Gao Ran concluded. Okay, let's not talk about this anymore. It's disgusting to hear. Let's eat. Then Zhu Lingling stood up and began serving the dishes with Huamin and Chen Jia. In the end, a table full of sumptuous dishes was served, squeezing the large square table to the point that there was no space left. Well, didn't you say there were 12 dishes? There are 20 dishes now, right? Tang Chuan asked greedily. There were 12 dishes, but Jia came. She's even more virtuous than us. She made a few more dishes. Everyone's in luck today. Mian said that Jia's cooking is really good. I can attest to that. She's really good. And Ai Yang smiled. Don't be so smug. Keep a low profile, okay? Qin Jia pushed Ai Yang shyly, looking a little embarrassed. Just like that, everyone sat around the table and began eating. Huamin carefully picked out some dishes from a small plate and placed them on the coffee table on the other side. Pudding, Little Bean, Gao Buin, and Wei Yunchu sat at another table. Well, don't fight, don't cause trouble. Huamin looked at Little Bean worriedly. Huamin felt guilty at the thought of how she had pranked Gao Buin in the morning and how he had been so scared. She didn't know why she and Mr. Qin, who were both so reserved, would give birth to such a naughty child. Moreover, it was a daughter. I know, Mommy. Don't worry. Little Bean promised like a little adult. As the host, I'd like to raise a glass of wine to thank everyone for coming to my house as guests. I really like this atmosphere. We'll have to gather more often in the future. Gao Ran seemed to be in a good mood. Come on, cheers. Tang Chuan was very good at livening up the atmosphere. The group of people began to eat and drink, and the atmosphere was very good. Even Rick, who was a man of few words, would smile from time to time when he was amused by everyone. Sis, why aren't you eating? Little Bean silently looked at Pudding, who was holding her phone. I'm fighting. Fighting? Little Bean was confused. With those anti-fans on Weibo. They're so mean they even went to Handsome Sue's Weibo to talk about it. Handsome Sue will be very sad if he sees it. Pudding was obviously unhappy. Little Bean leaned over to take a look. Sure enough, her sister and those anti-fans were having a heated argument. Sis, how about this? I suggest we eat first. After we're full, I'll fight them with you. What do you think? Little Bean persuaded. Chapter 2299. Yeah, Pudding. Eat first so that you have the energy to do other things. Gao Buyuan was more obedient. He was the fattest of the 4 children. His body was very strong and he was never picky about food. Pudding was in a bad mood. She only replied quietly, I don't have much of an appetite. You 3 eat first. Gao Buin held his bowl and whispered to Wei Yunchu, aren't you going to talk to your wife? After saying that, Gao Buin was still worried that Wei Yunchu would be angry. Unexpectedly, he only blushed slightly and put a piece of shiitake mushroom into Pudding's bowl. Auntie Mian said that you like shiitake mushrooms. This is delicious. Try it. Wei Yunchu looked at Pudding. Thank you. Pudding picked up a piece of shiitake mushroom with her chopsticks and put it in her mouth. Then she continued to scroll through Weibo. Tang Chuan was right. This incident had indeed started to spread on Weibo. Someone even took a lot of photos of Su Yuanin as his bodyguard and had to follow Su Yu everywhere he went. Some people started to use this as an excuse. They wrote, Su Yu is a pervert who likes male assistants. Disgusting. Pudding couldn't stand it. Especially when Su Yu was so sacred in her heart. She replied, shut up if you don't know how to talk. Don't ruin your good karma. Su Yu was on a business trip and spent more than 3 hours on the plane. He didn't turn on his phone. Pudding sent him a WeChat message but he didn't reply. In fact, Su Yu rarely went on Weibo. He used it because Huamin used it. After scrolling for a long time, Pudding finally saw someone who was willing to speak up for Su Yu. It was Nia Lingxian, Cece's biological sister. She said on Weibo, please don't listen to the rumors. Su Yu is a boss worthy of our respect. Imperial Star will always love him. Wise people don't believe in rumors. I hope this incident will end here. Otherwise, our company will hold them responsible. After she finished speaking, many female stars from Imperial Star followed suit and spoke up for Su Yu. Pudding walked up to Ni Yang with her phone in hand and whispered, "Uncle, say something for handsome Sue. Hurry up, you're very popular." Ni Yang smiled and patted Pudding's little head. She took out her phone and reposted Xuan's post. "President Sue, you've always been open and above board. Some people shouldn't make things up out of nothing. Otherwise we won't tolerate it." It was a short sentence, but it was sonorous and powerful, which was very much in line with Ni Yang's style. After he said that, Ni Yang's true fans immediately jumped out to defend Su Yu. Pudding was still not in the mood to eat. After Gao Buyuan and Little Bean finished eating, they ran into the house to play hide and seek. Pudding was still holding her phone and she seemed to have something on her mind. Wei Yunchu was the same as his father. He wasn't a talkative person, so he didn't know what to say. After a while he took out a lollipop from his bag and walked over to Pudding. "Pudding, here, have a lollipop first." "I'm not Little Bean. Why are you giving me a lollipop?" Pudding asked with a smile. "'Cause you're in a bad mood. Mommy said that when you're in a bad mood and feel bitter, you should eat a lollipop. It'll be sweet. There's nothing you can't get through in life." Wei Yunchu carefully recalled his mother's words and tried to comfort Pudding. "It's okay. I just feel bad when I see those trash talk about handsome Sue like that," Pudding said angrily. "Pudding, do you really like Uncle Sue?" Wei Yunchu mustered up his courage and asked. Chapter 2300. "Yes, of course I do. He's been with me since I was born. I'll love him for the rest of my life." To be honest, Wei Yunchu was quite upset by Pudding's confession. He was a little older than Pudding and Little Bean, so his EQ and IQ weren't low. Naturally, he knew a lot. Although he was still a kid, for some reason he couldn't feel happy when he heard Pudding say that she liked Uncle Sue. "Then, will you marry him in the future?" Wei Yunchu asked in a small voice. "What did you say?" Pudding thought she heard wrong, so she asked again. "I said, you like Uncle Sue so much. Will you marry him in the future?" Wei Yunchu asked again, a little absent-minded. "Can you stop joking?" Pudding couldn't help but laugh. "What are you laughing at?" Wei Yunchu felt that Pudding shouldn't laugh when he asked such a serious question. "What are you talking about? I like handsome Sue, but it's not that kind of love. Marrying him is a romantic relationship. It's not that easy to be a married couple. I like handsome Sue because he's the man who treats me and Little Bean the best other than Dad. Even Uncle Jishin and Grandpa aren't as good as him. So I like him a lot." "You mean, you like Uncle Sue as an elder?" Wei Yunchu seemed to understand now. Pudding nodded. "So that's how it is," he muttered to himself and secretly pursed his lips into a smile. "What are you laughing at?" Pudding looked at Wei Yunchu curiously. "Nothing. Are you hungry? I'll get you some rice." "I'm not hungry. I don't really want to eat." "Then, we can go to the study. I heard Uncle Gao has a lot of books," Wei Yunchu suggested. "That's a good idea. Let's go." Pudding was still a kid, so she immediately followed Wei Yunchu to the study. Tang Chuan looked at the four kids having fun and deliberately teased them. "Big brother, big sister, someone wants to hit on our twins. Shameless. Who's your big brother and sister-in-law? Don't call me that. Tang Chuan, can you be a little shameless?" Tang Chuan called Huamin and Qin Chu's sister-in-law and brother in front of so many people, making Qin Ning very embarrassed. "Am I wrong?" "That's the truth." "Not yet," Qin Ning corrected her. "It will be in the future. Sooner or later it will be." Tang Chuan began to act shamelessly again. Gao Ran looked at his son and Little Bean and said with a smile, "My son has forgotten the pain after the scar healed. He forgot that he was almost scared to death by Little Bean this morning. He's my wife, of course she won't hold a grudge." Zhu Lingling teased. Humin chuckled. "You guys sure are strong-willed. How dare you marry our Little Bean?" "I'm not trying to scare you guys, but Qin Datong and I can't control Little Bean when she gets wild. Don't worry, we'll have to return the goods if something goes wrong." "We'll never return the goods, huh? Don't worry about it. My family likes girls with personality." Zhu Lingling laughed. "It seems that marrying Pudding suits our Yunchu's personality. Both of them are introverted. Maybe they'll be together in the future. What do you think, honey?" Jiang Xiaowei said as she leaned on Wei Liao's shoulder sweetly. Chapter 2301. "Yeah, I agree with my wife. With Pudding's IQ and EQ, our family business will be even better than GK," Wei Liao said proudly. He seemed to be very satisfied with this marriage. "You guys are thinking too much. It's just our parents' wishful thinking. It'll be great if they can stay like this when they grow up, but if one of them chooses someone they like, all our efforts will be in vain. Gao Ran reminded them. It's okay. Let nature take its course. It'll be great if it works out. Even if it doesn't, they'll still be very good friends. Jiang Shaowei was very optimistic. Alright, when are you two getting married? Hurry up and have a baby. Wei Liao joked as he looked at Tang Chuan and Qin Ning. Hurry up, don't worry. Watch me. Fuck off, don't talk nonsense. Qin Ning secretly stepped on Tang Chuan's foot under the table. Ouch, my lady, can you be gentler? Are you trying to murder your husband? With this pair of clowns around, the atmosphere was very good. Huamin suddenly remembered the couple beside him. When are you two planning to have a baby? Since you're still young, you can have a baby first and then rest for a while. Yeah, we were thinking the same thing. Qinjie nodded shyly. Rick, what about you guys? When will you have good news? Tang Chuan asked Rick with a smile. Cici immediately felt embarrassed and stood up awkwardly. I need to go to the bathroom. Why are you running away? Geez, you're even thinner than our Ning Ning, Tang Chuan teased. Cici and I won't think about the wedding for now. We'll talk about it after we've dealt with some urgent matters, Rick answered seriously. Everyone continued to drink and drink. Huamin stood up. I need to go to the bathroom too. You guys drink first. When Huamin came to the bathroom, Cici was combing her hair. Sister Mian. Cici smiled dangerously when she saw Huamin. How are your wounds? Huamin asked. Very good, I don't feel any pain anymore. Even if I press lightly, it won't be a big problem. I'm still young, so I'll definitely recover quickly. Don't worry about me. Huamin nodded. Did Rick say anything about taking you to America? Cici smiled sweetly. Yes, I did. What do you think? Of course I want to be with him. To be honest, I've been living like a ghost without him for the past few years. Sister Mion, I'm not afraid that you'll laugh at me, but I really, really love Rick. I don't want to be separated from him anymore. So, I understand. What about your family? Did they agree to let you go abroad? My family is used to me being abroad, but my sister didn't agree. She was afraid that I'd be unfamiliar with the place. She tried to talk me out of it, but you know my temper. I'm willing to do anything for love. I'm even willing to give up my life. You might think that I'm a disappointment, but that's just who I am, Cici said without much confidence. She didn't even dare to look up at Huamin's eyes. Cici, don't be nervous. I'm not blaming you or laughing at you. I'm just worried about your safety. You should know what Rick does for a living, right? I know, he told me everything. Okay, then you should know how dangerous it is in America where guns are legal, right? Huamin asked seriously. Chapter 2302. I know. Cici nodded heavily. It seemed like she had thought about this a long time ago and had made up her mind. So, I wanted to tell you to take good care of yourself when you get there. Don't run around. Rick has a lot of enemies and someone might try to harm you at any time. You have to stay calm. Okay, I will. Thank you, Mion. Okay, don't be so polite with me. If you need any help, just call me. Although I'm in China, Mr. Qin has been in the States for many years. Second uncle also has some status over there. I'm sure he'll take care of you. Let's go back and sit down. Don't keep everyone waiting. Then Huamin pulled Cici back to their seats. Hey. Now that we're back, let's start the game? Tang Chuan asked. What game? Huamin was confused. Drinking game. I have a really fun one here. We have a lot of people, so it'll be really fun. Let me tell you, no one is allowed to cheat. Whoever loses will have to drink to their heart's content. It was obvious that Tang Chuan was very happy today. He kept livening up the atmosphere. Everyone was in a good mood as well. Come on, let's see who's who. Zhu Lingling rolled up her sleeves, looking like a tough woman. Haha, Mion and I are good at playing games with our brains. Come on, bring it on. Jiang Shaowei was also very drunk. When she said this, she raised her wine glass and knocked it on the table. Hey, young Master Wei, your sister-in-law is in the zone today. Tang Chuan smirked. Indeed, it's been a long time since I've seen her face so red from drinking. Now that you mention it, I remember that when young Master Wei chased her, they fell in love at the table. And I Yang said with a smile. Yes, I'm the witness. Sister-in-law is really a huge drinker. She almost drank Master Wei to death. Tang Chuan stood up excitedly and told everyone about the scene when Wei Liao chased after Jiang Shaowei, making everyone laugh. Alright, let's not talk about the two of us anymore. Do you still want to play the game? Jiang Shaowei was also embarrassed and urged Tang Chuan. Play, we must play. Come, I will first explain the rules to you. You must listen carefully. Don't say that I didn't explain clearly to the loser. Let me tell you, I will not be the scapegoat. Cut the crap. Hurry up, Tang Chuan. Everyone is waiting. Why are you so slow? Qin Ming's alcohol tolerance was not bad. After a dozen beers, not only was she not drunk, but she was also more relaxed and in a good mood. Listen to me, everyone. When I say 1, 2, 3 and the game starts, I will say, everyone, let's drink. You just have to cooperate with me and say, yes. For example, if I say Chuan wants to buy Ning Ning a drink, Ning Ning must say, Ning Ning doesn't know how to drink. Then I will ask, who can drink? Ning Ning can point at anyone and name them. During this process, you are not allowed to slow down or make a mistake. Do you understand? That's it? Is that simple? Jiang Shaowei looked at Tang Chuan with disdain. Seeing how happy he was, she thought it would be a difficult drinking game. Yeah, it's that simple. But you have to be careful, it's easy to make a mistake. Tang Chuan smiled. I'm the best at drinking games. You kids are no match for me, Zhu Lingling said proudly. Chief Gao, your wife seems to be high. Will she fuck you tonight? Hu Min laughed. Dr. Hua, is it okay for you to be so dirty? Gao Ran was speechless. Don't talk nonsense. Come on, I can't wait. I'm going to fuck you animals today. Zhu Lingling looked like she was ready to go all out. She didn't want to leave anyone alive. Immediately, everyone's enthusiasm and excitement were aroused, setting off the climax of the whole scene. Chapter 2303. Then I'll go first because I was the one who suggested it. Tang Chuan recommended himself excitedly. Okay, you go first, hurry up. Zhu Lingling couldn't wait to give it a try. Ever since she gave birth to Gao Buyun with Gao Ran, Zhu Lingling had been taking care of her husband and her son. She was bored to death. It had been a long time since she had a gathering with her friends where she could relax, especially in her own home. Therefore she was in the right mood. Everyone, please drink, Tang Chuan said. Everyone immediately clasped their fists and said in unison, yes. Chuan, please drink with Chuan. Tang Chuan was smart enough to provoke Mr. Qin as soon as he came up. Luckily, Mr. Qin reacted quickly and immediately replied, Chuan can't drink? Then who can drink? Tang Chuan asked. Chuan can drink. Qin Chu threw the hot potato back into Tang Chuan's hands. Hu Min almost spat out his drink when he heard the two words Chuan. After knowing Mr. Qin for so many years, this was the first time he heard that he had such a sexy name. Chuan is a good name. It suits Mr. Qin's temperament. Zhu Lingling couldn't help but laugh. Hey Lingling, can you be serious? Don't interrupt. Chuan can't drink. Then who can drink? Qin Chu asked immediately. Ran can drink. Tang Chuan began teasing Gao Ran again. Gao Ran froze for a few seconds, not realizing that he was Ran. Honey, what are you thinking? Is it your turn? Zhu Lingling nudged Gao Ran. I don't think I'm used to this new name. Gao Ran was also confused. I'll drink as punishment. Tang Chuan was so happy that he was bubbling. Gao Ran broke out in a cold sweat and rubbed his forehead. He picked up a cup of wine and drained it in a straightforward manner. The entire audience applauded. Finally, it's your turn. Tang Chuan felt goosebumps all over his body when he called her Ran. Tycoons, please drink. Yes. Everyone cupped their fists. Ran is treating Lingling to a drink. Lingling knows how to drink. Finally, it was Zhu Lingling's turn. She was very excited and wanted to show off. However, she made a slip of the tongue and said that she knew how to drink. Then you drink. Gao Ran pushed his wife's wine glass. For a tiger. You're actually rebelling. Zhu Lingling pinched Gao Ran. The problem is, did you say that you can drink? Gao Ran didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Wasn't that a slip of the tongue? Sister Lingling, let's do it. Let's see the true face of a tough woman, Tang Chuan chimed in. Zhu Lingling was also very straightforward. She picked up her wine glass and drained it in one gulp. Gao Ran mumbled softly, why do I have a feeling that we're going to be crippled today? That's right, you guys are the baboons, Wei Liao added, making Jiang Shaowei laugh so hard that her stomach hurt. Tycoons, please drink. Zhu Lingling said loudly. Then the entire audience burst into laughter. What are you guys laughing at? Aren't you going to start with me? Zhu Lingling's face was filled with shock. Lingling, the tycoons are treating us to a drink. Not the tycoons. You're wrong again. Jiang Shaowei kindly reminded her. Sister Lingling, let's drink as punishment. Tang Chuan chimed in. Zhu Lingling was speechless. Zhu Lingling didn't say a word. She poured another cup and downed it. He was quite efficient. Tycoons, please drink. Finally, she didn't make a slip of the tongue. Gao Ran was so scared that his heart almost jumped out of his chest. Yes. Lingling, please drink slightly. I don't know how to drink slightly, Jiang Shaowei said quickly. Then who knows how to drink? Zhu Lingling asked. Chapter 2304. Mian can drink. As soon as Jiang Shaowei finished speaking, Huamin immediately responded. Mian can't drink. Then who can drink? Jiang Shaowei asked. Chuan can drink. Chuan can't drink. Tang Chuan was very familiar with this game. Then who can drink? Huamin asked. Liao can drink. Tang Chuan pointed the gun at Wei Liao. Liao can't drink either, Wei Liao said slowly. Wrong. Master Wei, drink is punishment. Tang Chuan was so happy that he almost jumped up. What's wrong? Wei Liao was confused. You added an extra word. Liao can't drink either. You didn't add an extra word. Tang Chuan pointed out the mistake. Wei Liao was speechless. Honey, why do you have such a bad mouth? He already said he can't drink, but you added an extra word. Jiang Shaowei was also worried about Wei Liao's IQ. It was a slip of the tongue. Wei Liao was very happy. Without another word, he picked up the glass and drank it. Liao invites Yang to drink. Wei Liao looked at Yang, who had been silent all this time. Yang can't drink. Then who can drink? Lily can drink. Yang looked at Rick with his cute eyes. Rick realized that he was the Lily he was talking about. He didn't have time to complain about this ridiculous name. He responded, Lily can't drink. Then who can drink? Mian can drink. Rick threw the ball to Huamin. Mian can't drink. Huamin also looked wronged. Then who knows how to drink? Rick asked in fluent Chinese. Cici knows how to drink. Huamin decided to use the same method he used to take revenge on Rick on Cici. Cici was still sitting there giggling, unable to react for a moment. After 3 seconds, when she saw that everyone was looking at her, she came to a sudden realization. Cici, what are you thinking? Your name is called. Jiang Shaowei reminded her with a smile. I was just watching. I didn't think it would be my turn so soon. Cici giggled. Drink. Tang Chuan was still the one who forced people to drink. Before Cici could say anything, Rick picked up Cici's glass and downed it in front of everyone. She then explained to everyone, Cici is injured and has just been discharged from the hospital. She can't drink, so I'll drink on her behalf. Please forgive me. China's best husband. Zhu Lingling smirked. It's all because of you, honey. Cici lowered her head shyly. Then you're China's best boyfriend. Zhu Lingling corrected her. Just like that, everyone's mood was lifted. It seemed like a simple game, but it wasn't easy to play. Because it was very fast, especially after a few glasses of wine, it was even harder to keep up. So more and more people made mistakes and drank more and more. In the end, even geniuses like Qin Chu and Huamin couldn't avoid it. Huamin hadn't drunk so much in a long time since she gave birth to the twins. This time she really let loose. The adults were having a great time over there. Pudding and Wei Yunchu sat on the side and watched for a long time. Pudding glanced at them calmly and said, so boring. Are they really adults? The game is so childish, I'm speechless. What I didn't expect is that my cold daddy and smart mommy are also having so much fun. This game is so magical. Wei Yunchu, what do you think? Chapter 2305. I thought so too, but I can't believe they're having so much fun, especially my mom. It's my first time seeing her like that. Wei Yunchu looked at Jiang Shaowei, who was giggling like an idiot in disbelief. Was that really his mother, who was usually so serious and cold? That's why. Although adults sometimes look very old, their behavior is still very childish. The relationship between parents and children has always been difficult to deal with. There are conflicts mostly because both parties are immature. Children are too young, so it's normal for them to be immature. Sometimes when adults act childishly they become immature as well. It's a bit unreasonable. Your logic is really unbelievable. This is the first time I've heard of it. Wei Yunchu looked at Pudding with admiration in his eyes. Just then Pudding's phone rang. Handsome Sue. She picked up the video call and smiled sweetly. I'm here, Pudding, so fast. Is it cold over there? No, the temperature here is just right. What are you doing? Sue looked at Pudding lovingly. I'm chatting with Wei Yunchu. Where's Little Bean? She's eating with Gaobui. Pudding pointed at the room and answered. Then you should remind Gaobuin that if he continues to hang out with Little Bean, he'll be as fat as a pig sooner or later. Sue joked. Ha, Uncle Sue, you're so funny. Wei Yunchu laughed. I'm not going to remind him. It's useless even if I did. Little Bean is always trying to seduce Gaobuin. You know. Pudding winked at Sue. Sue laughed heartily. Then he asked, where are they? Are they still drinking? Not yet. I think the climax has just begun. Let me show you the scene. Pudding pointed the camera at the living room. Sue looked through the camera and saw that they were drinking to their heart's content. Tang Chuan took off all his clothes except for his tights. Jiang Shaowei and Huamin were hugging each other with flushed cheeks as if they were best friends. Zhu Lingling was lying on Gao Ran's shoulder with disheveled hair, flirting with her husband. Qin Chu was in a better situation. He took out his phone and paid attention to the company's situation. Even Ni Yang and Chen Jia, who had always been the most honest, began to kiss each other. This is a rebellion, Ziyu exclaimed. That's right. They're probably going to fly into the sky and stand shoulder to shoulder with the sun. Pudding added. It's a pity that I couldn't attend this party. I really wanted to see how drunk they were. Ziyu smiled. It's okay, I'll secretly record a video for you later. Pudding whispered. Right, I'll keep it. In the future I'll take it out and slander them all the time. Ziyu smiled proudly. After hanging up, Wei Yunchu looked at Pudding with jealousy. You're so good to Uncle Sue. Uncle Sue treats us very well too. Pudding didn't think much of it. Then, if you get married in the future, will you be better to your husband or Uncle Sue? Wei Yunchu was conflicted again. I can't answer this question because I'm still young and don't have a husband. So your assumption doesn't work. Pudding's words made Wei Yunchu speechless. On the other hand, Pudding had almost finished all of Gao Buyuan's food. There was only a bag left. Buyuan, I'm thirsty. Pudding whined. There's juice, carbonated drinks, milk and lemon tea in my fridge. Which one do you want? Gao Buyuan asked Pudding happily. Which one do you like? Pudding pouted and began to act cute. Chapter 2306. I like carbonated drinks, but my mom says it's not good to drink too much of it because it causes calcium loss. That's why she told me to drink more. Gao Buyuan answered in all seriousness. Okay then, get me a can of milk, Little Bean ordered. Okay, I'll go get it now. After saying that, Gao Buyuan jogged over to the refrigerator. Because he was too short he couldn't reach the top of the fridge. So he immediately called for help. Dad, come here. What? Gao Ran was in the middle of drinking and was a bit annoyed by his son's call. Get me 2 cans of milk. Gao Ran got up, opened the fridge and took out 4 cans. Little brat, don't just think about yourself and your wife. Think about your sister-in-law. Gao Ran pointed at Pudding and said jokingly. Gao Buyuan's face was a bit red. He held the 4 cans of milk and gave 2 to Wei Yunchu and Pudding. He took the remaining 2 into his room and shared them with Little Bean. It was just a drinking game, but everyone drank until they felt like they were floating. And so, the following scene happened. The first couple, Huamin, was hugging Qin Chu's neck like a koala. Honey, do you think I'm pretty? Yes. Mr. Qin looked at his wife tenderly. Then who's prettier, me or you? Huamin continued to be stubborn. You're prettier than me. Mr. Qin meant what he said. After all, beauty was in the eye of the beholder. Then who's prettier, me or Pudding and Little Bean? Huamin continued to compare himself to his daughters. You're prettier than me. You're the prettiest person in the world, Mr. Qin said directly. Haha, big brother, you think you're a magic mirror. Qin Ning covered her mouth and laughed. Honey, if you talk to me like this, I'll enjoy it. Huamin laughed so hard that her face turned red when she heard Mr. Qin's compliment. He was the reserved type. Although he had drunk a lot, he was still rational. For the second pair, Jiang Shaowei rolled up her sleeves and called out to Tang Chuan. Come on, let's hurt each other. Jiang Shaowei picked up a full glass of wine and drank it in one gulp. Including this cup, this was the third cup. Tang Chuan had just announced that he would compete with Jiang Shaowei for the title of God of Wine. Then, seeing that Jiang Shaowei was a woman, for every cup she drank, Tang Chuan would drink 2 cups. In the end, Jiang Shaowei was especially tough. She downed 3 glasses in a row. In other words, Tang Chuan would have to drink 6 glasses. Can you do it or not? Master Tang, if you're scared, just admit defeat to your sister-in-law. If you have a good attitude, you don't have to drink. Just admit defeat. Wei Liao smiled with a toothpick in his mouth. What a joke. You've known me for so many years, when have you ever seen me cower? Plus, my woman is here today. As a man, I can't lose face like this. Who's your woman? Shameless. Qin Ning didn't drink that much, so she was still sober. She even knew how to argue with Tang Chuan. Tang Chuan didn't hold back either. He downed 6 glasses in a row. Speaking of which, after drinking 6 glasses of beer, he was really dizzy. After all, he had drunk so much before. Now he couldn't take it anymore. He thought that was enough. But to his surprise, Jiang Shaowei poured herself another glass after he finished. Then she downed 3 glasses in a row. Everyone was dumbfounded by what they saw. Slightly better. You're even more manly than me. Zhu Lingling applauded. Chapter 2307. Your wife is amazing. Rick looked at Wei Liao in awe. Sister Slightly is such a good drinker. And Ai Yong also clapped his hands. Fuck, they're trying to drink Mr. Tang to death. Gao Ran also joined in the fun. Chuan Chuan, are we still drinking? Jiang Shaowei looked at Tang Chuan with a smile. To be honest, Tang Chuan couldn't drink 6 more glasses because he almost threw up. Just as he was about to admit defeat to Qin Ning's Slightly's wife, Qin Ning suddenly stood up. Sister Wei Wei, can I drink it for him? In fact, Qin Ning was quite shy when she said this. Oh. Tang Chuan's family is going to have sex. Zhu Lingling teased. Don't be scared, honey. Your husband is here too. I'm always ready. Wei Liao hugged Jiang Shaowei's waist and smiled. Honey, you're the best. Mwah. Jiang Shaowei was also drunk. She lowered her head and held Wei Liao's head, kissing him on the forehead. Not far away, Pudding licked an ice cream cone and glanced at Wei Yunchu. Your parents are showing off their love. I saw it. Wei Yunchu was extremely calm. So, what do you think? Pudding teased Wei Yunchu. They're both drunk. The test is over. Wei Yunchu's little heart was about to break. Ever since he was born, he had never seen his parents drink so much, especially his mother, who had a PhD in psychology. She even wanted to challenge for the title of God of Wine. Pudding covered her mouth and couldn't stop laughing. I'm not dreaming, right? Are you really going to drink for me? Tang Chuan was surprised and happy. I just don't want to see you drink like a dead dog. Qin Ning refused to admit it. My Ning Ning is the best. Sis-in-law, can I bring my family? Tang Chuan looked at Jiang Shaowei proudly. Sure, whatever. Jiang Shaowei smiled. Qin Ning lowered her head, gritted her teeth, raised her glass and drank 6 glasses in a row. The truth was, Qin Ning had a high alcohol tolerance. It was just that she grew up in the United States and didn't have a drinking culture there. She didn't drink often, but the Qin family's strong genes. Therefore, Qin Ning's display of her skills really made everyone look at her in a new light. On the other side, Hua Mian was still hugging Mr. Qin's neck. Honey, look, our Ning Ning is cheating. Ning Ning has always been a good drinker. Sometimes she drinks with my dad and uncle on a whim. Qin Chu was very calm. Little girl, you're really good at hiding things. But it looks like she and Tang Chuan have a lot going on. Hua Mian smiled. Oh my god, Ning Ning. Don't drink too much. You don't have to drink so much for me, just 3 glasses. Tang Chuan's heart ached. He didn't know Qin Ning was so strong that she could drink 6 glasses in a row. I'm fine. I'm definitely stronger than you. Qin Ning wiped the corner of her mouth and looked at Tang Chuan. At this moment, Tang Chuan was full of admiration for her. Honey, you're amazing. Fuck off, who's your wife? Looks like you didn't drink too much, huh? When you drink too much, you'll admit it. Tang Chuan snickered. This time, Ai Yong, Chen Jie, Rick and Cici all became spectators. At the beginning, the battle between Jiang Shaowei and Tang Chuan had become a battle between Jiang Shaowei, Wei Liao and Tang Chuan. Chapter 2308. Zhu Lingling looked at the empty bottles and sighed. Honey, thank goodness I bought a lot today. Otherwise, it wouldn't be enough for these drunkards. Honey, I have to give you a thumbs up. Gao Ran gave his wife a thumbs up. Sister Mion, come and watch the show. The god of wine is coming out. Cici waved her hand and called out to Huamin. Qin Chu put his arm around Huamin and returned to the table to watch. It's the last round. Let's each send a representative to finish 10 glasses of wine. Whoever can finish it all in one go wins. What do you think? Jiang Shaowei looked at Tang Chuan and Qin Chu and said, Sure. To show my respect, you guys go first. If you guys win, we won't drink and just admit defeat. Qin Ning said calmly. Good girl, it's decided then. Jiang Shaowei glanced at Huamin. Mion, you be the judge. The god of wine is coming out. Okay, but does the winner have to be the god of wine? Huamin didn't have any bargaining chips or motivation. No, we agreed that whoever wins will give the winner 5 bottles of wine that are worth more than 1,000,000 yuan. Tang Chuan interrupted. Wow, this is really a game for rich people. So there's 5 million yuan worth of wine as a bargaining chip. That's good. Huamin exclaimed. See? Honey, they're all rich people. That's why they give out millions of yuan so easily. Ordinary people like us can't compare to them. Zhu Lingling teased. Sister Lingling, if you say that, then you're looking down on us. Director Gao is in politics and we're in business. We're not incomparable. We have power but we don't have money. But your husband has power and money, so you should be content with what you have. Oh, right, we're going to collude with government officials and businessmen. Everyone's going to be good. Bah. Who wants to collude with you? Zhu Lingling laughed and scolded Tang Chuan. Let me do it slightly. You've already drunk a lot. Jiang Shaowei was just about to raise her glass when Wei Liao refused. He was afraid that his wife would vomit, so he took the initiative to step forward. However, on the 7th cup, Master Wei still vomited. Extremely brutal. Hubby, are you okay? Jiang Shaowei quickly poured a glass of water for Wei Liao. It's our turn, Ning Ning. As long as we can drink 8 glasses, we'll win. Tang Chuan said proudly. Let me. Qin Ning knew that Tang Chuan drank a lot, so she didn't let him touch his glass. No. He just drank 6 glasses. This is too much. Tang Chuan refused and tried to grab Qin Ning's glass. Do you still want to chase after me? Qin Ning threatened. What does that have to do with anything? Tang Chuan was confused. If you want to chase after me, then move aside. Qin Ning ordered. In the end, Tang Chuan hesitated for a moment and quietly moved aside for Qin Ning. Is Ning Ning okay? Huamin was worried about his sister-in-law and secretly asked Qin Chu. She'll be fine. She can finish all 10 glasses. Qin Chu said confidently. At this moment, Pudding, Little Bean, Wei Yunchu and Gao Buyan all stopped playing and ran over to watch the show. Your auntie looks amazing. Gao Buyan said. That's right. Our Qin family has strong genes. Little Bean said proudly. Ning, let's drink as much as we can, okay? If you really can't drink anymore, don't force yourself. Just admit defeat. Let's not talk about 5 bottles of wine. Even if it's 50 bottles, I'll accept it. I can't let anything happen to you, Tang Chuan nagged on the side. Then everyone's eyes fell on Qin Ning. Mr. Qin's sister looks awesome. Honey, do you think she'll win? Cici whispered as she held Rick's hand. Chapter 2309. Of course she will. Ning Ning is a good drinker, Rick commented calmly. Ning Ning? Well, why are you calling her so intimately? Do you have a crush on her or something? After all, they're both in the States and they live so close to each other. Their families are so close, right? Cici teased Rick with jealousy. Ning Ning is Qin Chu's little sister. I met her when I went to visit Qin Chu when I was in the States. She's just a little girl, what are you thinking? Rick was speechless. I'm just kidding. I just want to see how you'll react when I get jealous. Cici laughed. Rick. Qin Ning picked up a glass and started drinking. Tang Chuan felt bad for her and tried to persuade her. Ning Ning, stop drinking. Let's just admit defeat. I won't be the god of wine anymore. Qin Ning didn't say anything and just drank. By the 8th glass, everyone's expression changed. Qin Chu's little sister is insane. Gao Ran exclaimed. Oh no, honey. We lost. I embarrassed you. Wei Liao hugged Jiang Shaowei's waist and rubbed his head against her body. Jiang Shaowei hugged Wei Liao's head and smiled. It's okay, it's just for fun. We didn't take it that seriously. But are you going to reimburse me for 5 million yuan worth of wine? Honey, can we not play so big in the future? Will your husband go bankrupt? Wei Liao pouted. Haha, if you go bankrupt, you can sell your body to support me and our son. Jiang Xiaowei joked. I'm afraid I'll have to disappoint you with my body. I'm not at that level yet. Mr. Qin can. Wei Liao smiled and pointed at Qin Chu. Hey, what are you doing? You two are just joking. Why are you making Mr. Qin the scapegoat? Huamin retorted. Are you praising Mr. Qin? Wei Liao added. How can you compliment me like that? If my family goes bankrupt one day, it's simple, I'll just sell my body. Mr. Qin and I will just open a clinic and continue to be doctors. Huamian said proudly. Awesome. I forgot that you two have such powerful survival skills. Wei Liao gave them a thumbs up. At this time, Qin Ning had just finished his 10th cup of wine and did not have any intention of vomiting. Oh my god. Qin Ning, you're amazing. Zhu Lingling clapped. Ning Ning, are you okay? Tang Chuan hurried over to help her. It's okay, I'm okay. Qin Ning smiled and took out a tissue to wipe her mouth. Hubby, we lost. Hurry up and get someone to deliver the wine. Jiang Xiaowei snuggled into Wei Liao's arms and acted coquettishly. Hey, we lost the bet. But Mr. Tang, let me tell you, my wife didn't lose to you. She lost to Ning Ning. Yes. Your wife lost to my wife. Tang Chuan chuckled. This time Qin Ning did not refute him. Tang Chuan, my throat is so dry. I want to drink water. Qin Ning ordered. Tang Chuan immediately poured a cup of warm water for Qin Ning. Tang Chuan, my shoulders hurt. Give me a massage. Oh. Tang Chuan immediately stood behind Qin Ning and gave her a massage. He was very obedient and didn't complain. Mr. Tang, you're willing to be my slave. Wei Liao laughed. Congratulations, Mr. Qin, for having an obedient brother-in-law. Gao Ran chimed in. That's it for today. Everyone drank a lot, let's go back and rest, Huamin suggested. Don't, we're having fun. How about I treat everyone to karaoke? What do you think? Tang Chuan suggested. Chapter 23:10. Oh no, I'm so sleepy. I'm old and can't stay up all night. Today's a good day. Let's go. Jiang Xiaowei agreed with Huamin. Okay, then you should leave as soon as possible. But don't drive if you're drunk. I've already booked a designated driver. He's nearby. He'll be here soon. He'll send everyone home safely, Zhu Lingling said. Sister Lingling, you're so thoughtful. Good job. And I Yang praised Zhu Lingling. The adults got up and put on their clothes to leave. On the other hand, Gao Buyun was reluctant to leave. Little Bean, when are you going to come and play with me? Wait until I'm free, Little Bean said with a straight face. Aren't you free every day? You and your sister don't need to go to kindergarten, right? Yeah, we don't need to go to kindergarten. But we still have a lot of things to do. My sister has to invest in the stock market and we have to learn how to play piano and waltz. We also have to play with Grandpa and Grandma and visit Grandma. Oh, and Lord Sue and Grandma. Anyway, we're very busy. Okay, you can come to my house when you're free. Gao Buyuan looked at Little Bean with puppy eyes. Okay, thank you for giving me so much good food today. Then Little Bean kissed Gao Buyuan on the forehead. Happiness came so suddenly that it gave Gao Buyuan a shock. He was stunned. Pudding, who was not far away, chuckled. My sister is taking advantage of Buyuan again. I want to be taken advantage of too. Wei Yunchu murmured. What did you say? Pudding didn't hear him clearly and asked again. No, nothing. I said, you didn't eat much today. Are you hungry? Wei Yunchu asked. I'm not hungry. It's not good to eat too much at night. It's not good for digestion. Pudding talked about health. Wei Yunchu lowered his head and didn't say anything else. Pudding, Little Bean, come and put on your clothes. Huamin called. Coming, Mommy. The two little ones ran over happily. Huamin and Qin Chu helped them put on their jackets. After that, everyone went downstairs and left in waves. Zhu Lingling and Gao Ran glanced at the mess, speechless. Honey, who's going to clean up? Zhu Lingling asked with a smile. Honey, I'm really tired too. Why don't we get a cleaner to clean up tomorrow? Gao Ran suggested. How can that be? The temperature in the room is so high. If so much food is left here overnight, it will become moldy. If the food becomes moldy, it will be poisonous. It will not be good for the body. Zhu Lingling blabbered on. Then what should we do? Gao Ran looked helpless. How about we play rock, paper, scissors? Zhu Lingling asked tentatively. Whoever loses will clean up. Gao Ran was afraid of falling into his wife's trap, so he planned to ask in advance. He didn't want her to change her mind and say that the winner should clean up after he won. Of course, whoever loses will clean up. What do you think? Okay. Gao Ran nodded. Come on, I'll count to 3 and we'll do it together. Zhu Lingling put her right hand behind her back. Gao Ran was also very careful, afraid that it would be a trap. 1, 2, 3. After Zhu Lingling called out, she threw out a piece of paper. Gao Ran threw out a pair of scissors at the same time. How you lost, honey? Gao Ran was overjoyed. What's the rush? It's a best of 3. Zhu Lingling was obviously not convinced. Again 1, 2, 3. Zhu Lingling called out again. Gao Ran cooperatively threw out a pair of scissors and Zhu Lingling threw out a piece of paper. Honey, you lost again. He threw out a pair of scissors again. You don't play by the rules? Zhu Lingling was furious. Chapter 23:11. Honey, don't be like this. It's my freedom to do whatever I want. Are you trying to cheat? Gao Ran wanted to cry. Honey, this time doesn't count. Let's play a best of 5, okay? Zhu Lingling smiled. No, honey, let's stop playing. I'm afraid that if you lose, it'll continue to be 4 out of 6, 5 out of 7. It'll never end. I think I should clean up this mess. Gao Ran admitted his bad luck. He admitted defeat and turned around to clean up the food on the table. Zhu Lingling picked up Gao Buin, feeling extremely happy. Then I'll go give our son a bath. Thank you, honey. Thanks for your hard work. After leaving Gao Ran's house, everyone got into the car and headed home. Inside the black Bentley, Daddy, why didn't Auntie come back with us? Pudding asked. Your auntie is in Tang Chuan's car, Qin Chu replied. Auntie won't come back today and spend the night outside. Little Bean immediately imagined a scene that was not suitable for children. What the hell are you thinking about in that little head of yours? Huamin pinched Little Bean's chin. Nothing. I'm just worried about Auntie. I didn't get the chance to scold you. You should know when to stop pranking people. Look at how scared Buin was today. Huamin brought up Little Bean's troublesome incident. Didn't I play with him the whole night to make up for his trauma? Little Bean didn't think much of it. Yeah, you also ate all the food at Gao Buin's house. Pudding added. Little Bean, you even kissed Gao Buin before you left. Little Bean, that's enough. Pudding glanced at her little sister. I was just expressing my friendship with my friends. Sis, don't take it the wrong way. Little Bean continued to quibble. Huamin raised his hand to support his forehead. Qin Mumu, please don't say that we're family when you go out in the future. The 3 of us don't know you. Little Bean, you have to be careful with what you say and behave appropriately. Don't mess around. This time, even Qin Chu warned Little Bean. Did you hear that? Little Bean, remember that next time. Pudding scolded her sister. Did the 3 of you plan to attack me together tonight? Are you jealous of my natural beauty? Little Bean pouted. Her cute appearance warmed Qin Chu's heart. Alright, you 2 must be tired. Go back and sleep early. Stop gossiping. When they got home, Qin Chu led them upstairs, 1 in each hand. Huamin said a few words to Lady Qin downstairs before going upstairs. Huamin coaxed the twins to sleep. Just as he was about to leave the room, Pudding's phone rang. It was a video call from Suyu. He probably thought that they were still at Gao Ran's house. Huamin picked it up without thinking. What do you want? Huamin asked with a smile. Suyu was shocked. He was in a hotel in another city. He had just taken a shower and was still wearing a bathrobe. He wanted to ask Pudding how everyone was doing, but to his surprise Huamin picked up the video call. Without any warning, Suyu became shy. He picked up his jacket from the side of the bed and put it on. What? Why are you shy with me? It's not like you're naked. Huamin teased him on purpose. Why are you the one who picked up? I thought I called Pudding, right? He was amused. Yeah, she's asleep. We just got back. It ended so quickly. I thought we were going to be crazy until the sun came up. No, we're not young anymore. We don't have much energy. We're all sleepy and drank a lot. Did anything fun happen? Suyu asked. Chapter 23:12. Yeah, they're all pretty fun. I don't need to tell you. Pudding and Little Bean will tell you everything tomorrow. It sounds like it's a shame that I didn't go. It's okay, there will be plenty of opportunities in the future. Let's attack Chongju. Humin chuckled. Okay. Suyu, yeah? That thing, don't take it to heart. Humin said slowly. What thing? Suyu froze, she didn't know what Humin was talking about. The rumor on Weibo. Oh, that thing? I didn't take it to heart. It's not like it's the first time someone has been saying that I'm gay. I'm already used to it. Say whatever you want, I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, don't let the rumor get in your way. I know. Suyu nodded. How's it going over there? Pretty good, I'll probably be done in 2 days. I'll go back once I'm done. Okay, take care of yourself. Okay. I'm going to bed now. Humin said goodbye. Okay, good night. Suyu looked at Humin with a gentle gaze. Humin was afraid to meet Chinchu's gaze, so she subconsciously looked away. Then she nodded and replied, good night. Then Humin quietly put her phone on the bedside table and went back to the master bedroom. Inside the master bedroom, Mr. Chin was already lying down with the blanket over him. Humin thought that Mr. Chin must be tired, so he went to bed first. She quickly changed into her pajamas and carefully crawled under the blanket. However, as soon as she got in, Mr. Chin flipped her over and pressed her down. What are you doing? You scared me, I thought you were asleep. Humin whispered. No, I was waiting for you. Mr. Chin's voice was a little hoarse as he looked at Humin with lust in his eyes. Why aren't you wearing anything? When Humin's body touched his, she realized that Mr. Chin was already asleep and didn't even have a piece of cloth on him. Honey, are you going to do it after you get drunk? Humian looked at Chinchu with wide eyes. You can think of it that way. Mr. Chin then leaned down and kissed Humin's long eyelashes. On the other hand, Tang Chuan and Qin Ning were still sitting in the car. Even when they reached the entrance of South Hill Manor, they didn't get out of the car. They didn't want to leave each other's. The two of you. How much longer are we going to sit here? I still have work to do. The designated driver in front was going crazy. Mr. Chin, Mr. Chin, and Mean have a look. Mr. Chin Chin choose Chu. As Chin, it's not about the money, it's about how I'm going to go home. There aren't any taxis around here. The driver was on the verge of tears. Little Chuan, why don't you ask the driver to take you home? I'm going to leave now. Qin Ning lowered her head shyly. Don't do that, I'm not done yet. I don't want to leave you. Tang Chuan didn't want her to leave. Qin Ning's face turned even redder. The driver finally understood what was going on. He had bumped into a couple who were deeply in love. They were glued to each other like glue. But it's already so late. If I don't go home now, my uncle and the others will be worried. Qin Ning still had a little bit of rationality left in her. Then kiss me and I'll let you out. Tang Chuan teased. There are people in front. Qin Ning was embarrassed and angry. Come on, close your eyes. Tang Chuan pointed at the driver in front of them. The driver was speechless. Okay, you can kiss me now. Tang Chuan closed his eyes and walked up to Qin Ning. Chapter 23:13. Who wants to be intimate with you? Qin Ning shyly pushed Tang Chuan's face away. If you don't kiss me, I'll cling on to you and won't let you get out of the car. Tang Chuan wasn't stupid. Seeing how Qin Ning drank for him tonight, he knew that Qin Ning had feelings for him. Qin Ning looked at Tang Chuan's shameless face and didn't know what to do. She was both angry and amused. Miss, please kiss me. I want to go home as soon as possible. The driver begged with his eyes closed. Qin Ning chuckled. Then she quickly kissed Tang Chuan lightly on the corner of his mouth. Then she quickly opened the door and got out of the car. Huh. That's it? Tang Chuan obviously wasn't satisfied, but Qin Ning had already gotten out of the car. Jiang Xiaowei and Wei Liao also felt dizzy when they got home. The two of them drank more than the others tonight because they had a drinking competition with Tang Chuan. Honey, do you have a headache? I'll get you a bath. Okay. Jiang Xiaowei nodded. Then Wei Liao took off his clothes and carried Jiang Xiaowei to the bathroom. At the door, they bumped into their son Wei Yunchu. Son, what are you doing? Why aren't you sleeping? Wei Liao froze. Are you two planning to give me a little brother or sister? Wei Yunchu asked in all seriousness. Wei Liao, Jiang Xiaowei, son, who told you that nonsense? Wei Liao's face turned red. Don't lie to me. You took off your clothes, I know what you want. You want to give me a brother or sister with mommy. Although Wei Yunchu's EQ was not as high as Pudding and Little Beans, he was still clueless. Son, it's not what you think. Jiang Xiaowei didn't know how to explain. Wei Yunchu stood in front of the bathroom, blocking his parents' way. In the end he took out something and stuffed it into Wei Liao's hand. Old Wei. Be careful. Wei Yunchu turned around and left. When Wei Liao saw what it was, he was so scared that he almost peed his pants. This. Wei Liao was at a loss for words. Honey, what is this? Jiang Xiaowei was curious about the toy that her son gave her. Look at it yourself. I don't know how to describe it. Wei Liao opened his hand and showed it to his wife. Then Jiang Xiaowei was also shocked. She didn't expect her son to know the use of condoms. Is our son precocious? Jiang Xiaowei was also dumbfounded. Maybe he learned it from the twins? Little Bean and Pudding have always understood. Wei Liao guessed. The only couple who didn't get drunk at the party were Rick and Cece. Qin Jia and Ni Yang, who couldn't hold their liquor, were so drunk that they immediately went to bed after they got home. Only Rick and Cece were in the mood to play at the ice skating rink in the middle of the night. Cece also drank a little and was very excited. Therefore, when she came back, she said that she wanted to go ice skating, and Rick indulged her. He took her directly to the ice skating rink, got the staff on duty up, and opened the door for them. Only the two of them were in the huge ice skating rink, so they didn't feel lonely. The slow, soft music was especially pleasant in the middle of the night. Come here. Cece put on her skates, drew a circle on the ice, and beckoned to Rick with her finger. Don't. Rick actually refused. Why not? Cece pouted. Rick was silent. You don't know how to skate? Cece suddenly thought of something and asked with a laugh. Chapter 23:14. Rick was still silent, but it was obvious that he looked unnatural. Haha, am I right? Cece suddenly realized. Only then did Rick slowly nod his head. Oh my god, you don't know how to skate. That's so surprising. Cece looked as if she had discovered a new continent. What's so surprising about that? I'm not a special forces soldier, why do I need to know everything? Rick said proudly. That's great, I can be your master and teach you how to skate. No, I don't want to learn. Rick refused without hesitation. No, if you don't want to learn, I have to teach you. Come on, call me master. Cece bullied Rick. Rick was speechless. The gunshot wound hurt so much. Cece suddenly squatted down and held her chest. Rick was so scared that he immediately ran over. He hugged Cece tightly and helped her up. Cece, how are you feeling? Or does it hurt? To his surprise, Cece didn't wait for him to speak. She got up, grabbed Rick's hands, and quickly skated on the ice. She was so fast that Rick's face changed color. Don't be scared. Just hold on to me tightly. I won't let you fall. Cece comforted Rick as she skated gracefully. Then she led Rick around the ice rink, and that feeling made him want to fly again. Is it fun? Cece smiled brightly. It's okay. Rick seemed to have gotten used to it and wasn't so scared anymore. Don't be scared. It's really fun. It's just like how you guys like racing. That moment of speed and passion is really exciting and fulfilling. Rick didn't say anything else. Looking at Cece's smiling face, he suddenly felt very satisfied. He finally understood how Qin Chu felt. Why was it that every time Huamin smiled, Qin Chu would look at her lovingly? So, this was how loving someone was. Seeing her smile would make you happy too. So you came back 2 days later. After he came back from his business trip, he went straight to Imperial Star's headquarters for a meeting. When he got home, it was already nighttime. Lady Su called him and asked him to come home for dinner. He thought his parents and grandfather missed him, but he didn't expect so many people to be home. Huamin and the twins were also there. Huamin's mother was also chatting with Su Yu's mother. I'm back. Su Yu opened the door and walked in. The twins heard the commotion and ran over. One on each side, they hugged Su Yu's thighs tightly. Handsome Su, I miss you so much. Pudding said. Handsome Su, I missed you so much. Little Bean didn't want to be outdone. Why are you two little guys here? Su Yu was pleasantly surprised. I didn't tell Grandma Su to tell you when I called. I wanted to give you a surprise, huh? Little Bean laughed. You two really have more and more ideas. Su Yu pinched Little Bean's face lovingly and patted Pudding's head. Finally, she raised her head and glanced at Huamin. You're here to... Yes. Where's Qin Chu? Su Yu asked. He's still busy. He'll come over in a bit. Oh? Suyu nodded. Handsome Sue, did you have fun on your business trip? Little Bean asked. Was okay. I didn't have much fun. I spent most of my time in a meeting at the hotel. Then, did you bring us gifts? Little Bean asked shamelessly. Little Bean, you shouldn't ask Handsome Sue so directly. Pudding reprimanded. Then what should I say? Little Bean felt wronged. You should say that, Handsome Sue, you won't come back empty-handed, right? Pudding covered her mouth and laughed. Isn't that the same thing? Little Bean didn't want to admit defeat. It's not the same. I asked in a subtle way, but you asked too directly. Pudding argued. Stop arguing, you two. I got it. Anyway, you want a gift, right? Suyu squatted down with a smile and looked at the two little guys lovingly. So you don't spoil them. There's no need to buy gifts. Huamin was a little embarrassed and scolded the twins. Then guess what I bought? If you guess correctly, you can take it. If you get the wrong one, you don't get it. Suyu purposely made it difficult for the twins. Chapter 23:15. Are you kidding me? Handsome Sue is too much. Little Bean pouted. Let's guess. After all, I'm willing to do things that test my IQ. Pudding's attitude was the opposite of Little Bean's. She was happy to play along with Suyu. Which one of you will go first? Suyu smiled mysteriously. Is it jewelry? Little Bean asked. So tacky, Pudding immediately added. Then, is it pork trotters? Little Bean's eyes lit up at the thought of food. Pork trotters? Why would I bring a gift like that? Little Bean, you're such a weird lowly. Suyu was speechless. Handsome Sue, is it an electronic product? Pudding asked calmly. Suyu shook his head. Handsome Sue, is it a piano or something? Little Bean asked. Suyu continued to shake his head. The twins made 7 or 8 guesses, but they were all rejected by Suyu. In the end, the twins gave up. Sis, let's stop guessing. How about we admit defeat? Little Bean was discouraged. Pudding didn't say anything. Instead, she looked at Suyu and suddenly had an idea. Handsome Sue, can we ask for outside help? Outside help? Little girl, you have a lot of ideas. Suyu lovingly pinched Pudding's little face. Can we? Pudding asked cutely. Sure. Who do you want to ask for help? Suyu stood up with a smile and looked at Huamin's mother, Mr. Sue and Lord Sue. Mommy, can you help us? Pudding turned around and asked Huamin for help. If Mommy helps you, will it count as cheating? Huamin chuckled. No, Handsome Sue said it's okay. Pudding emphasized. Mommy, the problem is, can you guess it? Don't be as stupid as us. Little Bean didn't have much confidence in her mommy. Do you think I'm 4 years old like the two of you? Huamin laughed as he walked over. He glanced at Suyu and said, It is said that you are going on a business trip in Jiangzhou, right? Yes. Suyu nodded. The 4 most famous specialties of Jiang District are porcelain, silk, soy sauce, duck tongue, and Yimei black tea, Huamin said slowly. So, what do you think it is? Suyu found it amusing and continued to ask Huamin. Porcelain is expensive and beautiful, but it's hard to preserve. So, you definitely wouldn't choose porcelain for Pudding and Little Bean. Soy sauce duck tongue is delicious, but it's too cheap, so it can't be considered a gift. Yimei black tea is rare, but the 2 kids don't like tea, so I'm guessing that the only thing you're going to give them is something related to silk. Damn, do you have to be so smart? A female version of Detective Conan? Suyu laughed as he listened to Huamin's deduction. But that wasn't the point. Huamin continued, silk can be made into many things. Jiang District's handkerchief and fan are both famous. But because these 2 things are too small, you wouldn't go to such great lengths to give them. I heard that Jiang District has the bright moon blue ripple brocade, which was made by the Ming Dynasty's nobles. Because it's about to be lost, it's handmade. Many high-ranking officials in Jing City go to Jiang District every year to ask for a piece to make kipeos for the socialites in their families. Lord Su, it's not easy for you to go there and get one as well. Don't tell me you made kipeos for the 2 kids? After Huamin finished speaking, Suyu was completely shocked. Chapter 23:16. His eyes were wide open, completely in disbelief. How did you? I'm just guessing. Huamian smiled. Suyu turned around and looked at him with a strange expression. Did you betray me and tell her? I didn't. And was a man of few words, but he never lied. So you knew that. What? He guessed it, but you don't want to admit it. Mrs. Su laughed at her son. Are you a sore loser? Lord Su snorted. Oh, I just didn't expect Huamian to be so smart. Not only did she know that I got the bright moon blue ripple brocade, but she also knew that I made the chongsam for Pudding and Little Bean. Isn't that too? You can read minds, right? Su, you wanted to worship Huamian again. People say that babies are stupid for 3 years, but Huamin wasn't stupid at all. In fact, he was very smart. It's not that hard. I told you that Pudding and Little Bean are girls, so the 4 types of silk are only suitable for them. Ordinary silk isn't good enough for a super rich person like you. I heard about the bright moon blue ripple brocade from the Zhao family of Jiangzhou, so I made a wild guess. Then how did you know it was a chongsam? Suyu continued to ask. Are you stupid? Are you going to use such expensive brocade to make a handkerchief? Wouldn't that be a waste? Plus, brocade won't look good in other clothes, only chongsams are suitable. It's not that hard to guess. You don't have to think that I'm so smart, I just made a logical deduction. Okay, you win. I'm impressed, Heroine Hua. Suyu raised his hands in apology, expressing his admiration for Huamin. Well, Mommy, you're amazing. Little Bean began to flatter her. Didn't you say that you didn't have confidence in me? Huamin held a grudge against Little Bean. Little Bean immediately stuck out her tongue and said, I was just trying to confuse Handsome Su. So Handsome Su, where are our chongsams? Pudding reached out her hand expectantly. Suyu looked back at and bring it in. Huamin nodded and walked to the door. He opened the large suitcase and took out 2 china red chongsams and handed them to Huamin. President Hua, here, help the twins put it on. Oh, so red. Huamin's eyes lit up when he saw the red color. Mommy, hurry. Put it on for me. I want to look pretty. Little Bean seemed to be very excited and couldn't wait any longer. Come. Don't worry. Granny will help you put it on. Granny Su will help you too. The 2 elders took the chongsams from Huamin and took the children to the sofa to change. Suyu added, I had it made according to their height. I don't know if it fits. It shouldn't be a problem. Chongsams are like dresses. It doesn't matter if it's a little long or a little short. Huamin replied. What do you think? Mommy, am I pretty? Little Bean was the first to change and ran over impatiently. She spun in a circle in front of Huamin to show off. Yes, you're so beautiful. Huamin looked at his daughter in the red chongsam. He was so cute. While he was looking at Pudding, he was already taking selfies with his phone. Wow, you're so pretty. You look like a china doll. Lady Su praised. Kids, come here. Let great-grandpa take a look. Lord Su waved his hand impatiently. Huamin was about to turn around and sit down when he heard Suyu say, Mian, yeah? Huamin turned around and looked at Suyu. Chapter 23:17. This is for you. Suyu handed it to Huamian. Huamin looked at the thing in her hand and was a bit surprised. I get one too? Yeah, this color suits you. I thought it matched your aura, so I made one for you. Before Huamin could say anything, Suyu stuffed the dress into Huamin's hands. Then she walked over. Mom, Dad, Grandpa, Auntie Yang, you guys got gifts too? Suyu continued to give out gifts to everyone. Even Yang Mirong got a silk quilt that was warm in the winter and cool in the summer. The old lady was overjoyed. She turned around and looked at Huamin, who stood there motionlessly. Suyu walked over and patted her on the shoulder. Huamin was startled. Why are you standing there like an idiot? Go change in the washroom and show my mom and the others. Suyu smiled. Huamin couldn't refuse, so she took the dress and walked to the washroom. After she changed, she looked at herself in the mirror and still couldn't believe her eyes. It was also a moonlight blue brocade. This one was moon white with a lotus pattern on it, but the color was very light. It looked like an ink painting. It was very simple and elegant, but one could tell it was made of high-quality silk. Most importantly, the size was just right. The moon-white chongsam showed off Huamin's figure. Her slim waist and white legs that were slightly revealed by the slit at the bottom were enough to make one's imagination run wild. Mr. Qin would probably go crazy if he saw the effect of this. Huamin couldn't even recognize herself as she looked at the woman in the mirror. For a moment she felt as if she had traveled back in time to the end of the Qin dynasty. It set off Huamin's fresh and refined aura perfectly. When Huamin walked out of the washroom, Little Bean exclaimed, Wow, is that Mommy? She's so beautiful. Pudding turned around and gave her a thumbs up. Goddess Hua, you're beautiful. Only after the two little ones finished speaking did everyone turn their heads one after another. Then they all looked surprised, especially Suyu. In an instant the look in his eyes changed. Oh my god, our Mion is so beautiful. This dress suits her so well. It's so elegant, Lady Su praised as she clapped her hands. Yang Meirong also looked at her daughter with a smile. Her eyes were filled with pride, as if she wanted to tell everyone that she had given birth to such an outstanding daughter. Mion, you have such a good temperament. Master Lord Su praised. Looks like our ancestors were right, clothes make the man. Mion usually looks delicate and elegant, but in this Cheongsam today, she exudes the charm of the ancient times. What a rare sight. Mr. Su praised her in a reserved manner. This made Huimin feel slightly shy. She looked at everyone shyly and smiled. Kid, you have good taste. I didn't expect you to be so good at buying women's clothes. Master Lord Su teased. Su Yu on the other hand looked at Huimin in a daze and didn't react. Handsome Su, Master Lord Su is talking to you, Pudding reminded him in a small voice. Su Yu still didn't move, making Huimin feel very awkward. Hey handsome Su, stop looking. If you keep looking you'll never be able to look away. Also, if my daddy finds out that you're looking at her like that, he'll get jealous. He's very scary when he gets jealous. Be careful, he'll beat you up. Little Bean knocked Su Yu with her little fist. Only then did he come back to his senses. Huh? What did you just say? Grandpa. Su Yu turned around and looked at his grandfather. Chapter 23:18. Upon hearing Su Yu's question, the elders all laughed. It was the first time he felt so embarrassed and his face turned bright red. Huimin also coughed to express his embarrassment. Handsome Su, can you please not look at my mommy like a wolf looking at a sheep? Little Bean asked with a smile. Su Yu was speechless. Don't talk nonsense, Little Bean. Don't make fun of your Uncle Su. Huimin stopped her. Su Yu, thank you for your gift. Huimin thanked Su Yu. You're welcome. I bought it mainly for Pudding and Little Bean, and I also bought one for you. Su Yu scratched the back of his head and answered vaguely. To his surprise and suddenly interrupted, of course not. Pudding and Little Bean's Cheongsams aren't even half as expensive as President Hua's. Shut the fuck up. Su Yu immediately turned around and glared at An, not letting him speak. And how much is mine? Huimin looked at An and asked. Hey Huimin, is it okay for you to ask like that? Who would ask how much a gift is? So rude. Su Yu didn't seem to want to tell Huimin the price. We're so close, there's no need to be polite. And tell me the truth, Huimin continued to ask, and since President Hua asked, just tell him the truth. Su Yu kept coughing to remind An. He was afraid that if An told him the truth, Huimin wouldn't dare to ask for it after hearing the price. An was in a dilemma. On one side was President Hua and on the other side was President Su. They were both his former bosses and they treated him very well. Most importantly, he had never lied in his entire life. Now that President Su asked him to lie, he didn't know what to do. After 3 seconds of silence, Shaoan said, Huimin, the price of this item is more than 180,000 yuan. Huimin, so expensive. Huimin's eyes darkened slightly. She knew that once Su Yu made a move, he would definitely not go easy. It's not expensive at all. Ha, those custom-made evening gowns cost hundreds of thousands. Su Yu comforted Huimin with a smile. Huimin did not say anything. Fortunately, she did not directly tell Su Yu that she would return the money to him. That would be awkward. Huimin turned around to make tea for Lord Su and the others. He didn't ask about the price anymore. Su Yu walked over, pointed at Shaoan's nose and cursed in a low voice. Do you want to die? Didn't I give you a hint to say less? I was understating it. When I bought it, it cost more than 190,000 yuan. I only said it was 180,000 yuan. Shaoan said innocently. Su Yu didn't know what to do with Anne's wit. The twins and Huimin's qipao cost nearly 300,000 yuan in total. That was probably more money than an ordinary family could earn in 5 years. Su Yu had always been generous, but Huimin rarely accepted gifts from Su Yu other than on birthdays. She even often bought expensive gifts for the Su family with Qinchu. After all, she didn't want to owe Su Yu anymore. While drinking tea, Lady Su casually said, why don't you buy me on a red qipao too? I on the other hand like bright colors. Mom, older people like red, but it's not suitable for her age. She's not a bride, why should she wear red? It's scary, Sue said casually. Lady Sue suddenly thought of something and asked Huamin, Myung, why didn't you and Chin-chu have a wedding? Didn't you guys not go through with the divorce procedures? Logically speaking, you should make up for the wedding from 4 years ago. After all, a wedding is the most important and beautiful experience in a woman's life. Chapter 23:19. Oh, we're all busy right now and don't have time. Let's talk about it later, Huamin said perfunctorily. However, Suyu still saw a hint of disappointment in Huamin's eyes. When the kids grow up and you guys get old, what's the point of having another wedding? Lady Sue didn't seem to agree. Mr. Sue tried to persuade her, don't worry about it. Their relationship is stronger than anything else. Our parents didn't have a proper wedding when they got married, but they still spent the rest of their lives together. At the mention of this topic, Lord Sue nodded. That's right. Your mom and I got married through someone's recommendation. It was a chaotic time and we didn't have enough to eat or warm clothes. There was no wedding. Your mom followed me all the way. It's embarrassing. Lord Sue felt bad when he thought of his boss who passed away a few years ago. Hey, let's not talk about such a heavy topic. Let's talk about something more pleasant. Why are you adults making things difficult for yourselves? Little Bean hopped over. Okay, I'll listen to Little Bean. Let's change the topic. Grandpa Sue picked up Little Bean and placed her on his lap. What do you want to talk about? Mr. Sue teased Little Bean. I just want to ask Grandma Sue, when are we going to eat? Little Bean asked pitifully. Everyone burst into laughter. You're such a foodie. Huamin didn't know what to say about Little Bean. Soon. We'll eat when your dad gets here. Lady Sue smiled. Mian, call Huamin and ask him where he is, Yang Merong whispered into Huamin's ear. After all, it wasn't good to make everyone wait for him. Huamin nodded. Just as he was about to take out his phone, Chin-chu walked in. Sorry, I just finished work. Chin-chu apologized as soon as he walked in. You're not late at all. You came at the right time. Come. Lord Sue waved his hand as if he really liked Chin-chu. Chin-chu walked over with an exquisite box in his hand and handed it to Suyu's father. Uncle, this is a gift from a client. He said that it's been aged for 20 years and is very fragrant. Try it with Grandpa. Really? It's not easy to find 20-year-old wine nowadays, especially this green bamboo leaf. Lord Sue's father and Lord Sue's grandfather loved drinking wine, especially white wine, so they were very happy. At this moment, Chin-chu glanced at Suyu. He nodded and greeted him. You're back from your business trip? And by the way, I brought you some tea leaves from that side. Suyu finished speaking, picked up a box of exquisite tea leaves and handed it to Chin-chu. Thank you. Chin-chu nodded and thanked him. The two men were very polite to each other, but there was clearly a sense of distance between them. Daddy, look, is my Cheongsam pretty? Little Bean climbed down from Lord Sue's lap and began to climb onto her father's lap, continuing to act cute. Yes. Handsome Sue bought it for me. This is one too. Mommy has one too. Little Bean said nosily to Chin-chu. Chin-chu glanced at Little Bean's Cheongsam, which was the same red color as Little Bean's. Then he looked up at Huamin's Cheongsam. He was stunned for a moment before he smiled slightly. It's a very pretty Cheongsam. Aren't you jealous? Little Bean purposely asked her father. Why would I be jealous? Chin-chu hugged Little Bean and asked with a smile. Because your love rival gave it to Mommy. Little Bean's words were especially bold. Huamin was so tired that he almost choked. Little Bean, that's enough. Huamin continued to feel awkward. Chapter 23:20. Daddy, I'm not that petty. Plus, Uncle Sue is Mommy and Daddy's good friend, right? Chin-chu acted like a gentleman. He wasn't a petty scumbag who would suspect that his wife was having an affair with another man. Wow, you're indeed my awesome dad. You're so handsome. I love you. Little Bean kissed Chin-chu on the cheek. Chin-chu was in a good mood. Enough flattery. Hurry up and go coax Mommy. Otherwise, she'll give you a hard time when you get home tonight. Pudding kindly reminded. Mommy won't. I'm doing this to prove Daddy's feelings for Mommy. I helped her. Little Bean was also very clever. Kids these days are amazing. They're so smart. Lady Sue praised the two kids as she listened to their conversation. Then Lady Su told the housekeeper to serve dinner. The Su family's food was always exquisite and exquisite. Looked, smelled and tasted good. Most importantly, it was good for health. The Su family had a habit a long time ago. As long as Huamin came to eat, there had to be seafood. Huamin was always very grateful. Little details like this were done well and made him feel very touched. Mian, you should eat more. You're working at Southside now and you're tired. Eat more. This shrimp is very nutritious. Lady Su affectionately put food in Huamin's bowl. Everyone was happily chatting with each other. Chu, play a game of chess with Grandpa after dinner? Grandpa Su was in a good mood. Grandpa, what about me? Suyu was jealous. With your current skills you can go play with Pudding and Little Bean. It's not easy to beat them. Lord Su laughed. Suyu, it's so boring. I don't want to play. Handsome Su, let's play cards later. The three of us will play to fight the landlord. You're the landlord. Then Pudding and I will play to fight the landlord. What do you think? Little Bean smirked. You can be the landlord. Suyu retorted. After the meal, Qin Chu kept his promise and played 2 games of chess with Lord Su. Lord Su was already old, so he got tired after playing for a while. She was helped back to her room to rest. The twins were still excitedly playing with this and that. Huamin and his mother arranged flowers with Lady Su. Qin Chu was addicted to smoking. Just as he was about to go to the back of the villa for a smoke, he heard Suyu say, "Let's talk." Okay. Mr. Qin was still a man of few words. The 2 men walked to the vent at the back of the Su residence. Suyu took out a luxurious cigarette from his pocket and handed one to Qin Chu. Then he put one in his mouth and lit it up. When are you and Mion going to have your wedding? Suyu asked directly. I don't know yet, it depends. Qin Chu didn't beat around the bush either. You're worried that Hua Xiqian will take the opportunity to mess with the wedding, right? After all, he was the one who messed up the wedding last time, Suyu guessed. Qin Chu nodded and then his eyes became deep. No one knew that he wanted to give Huamin a grand wedding more than anyone else. However, as long as Hua Xiqian was alive, the wedding wouldn't go smoothly. This was an undeniable fact. Therefore, he would rather postpone the wedding and kill Hua Xiqian first. Qin Chu, let me help you. I noticed that you haven't done anything to Hua Xiqian recently because you're not confident. That bitch Mo Shuier did a great job opening the way for us. I think that if the 2 of us work together we can kill Hua Xiqian in a matter of minutes. Suyu remembered the disappointed look on Huamin's face today. Therefore he knew that he had crossed the line, but he still forced himself to ask about Qin Chu's wedding. Although he was the one who didn't want to see Qin Chu and Huamion's wedding. Chapter 23-21. It's not that easy to take down Hua Xiqian, Qin Chu said slowly. Are you that scared of him? To be honest, Suyu was starting to look down on Qin Chu. How could such a powerful man be so scared of a scumbag like Hua Xiqian? I'm not scared. It's just that Hua Xiqian's background is complicated. Background? You mean? Suyu wasn't sure about the relationship between Hua Xiqian and Ian. However, Huamin, Qin Chu and Rick all understood. Even someone as powerful as Lu Yan was forced to run around the world because of Ian, let alone others. It's complicated. Anyways, Hua Xiqian is just a puppet. There's a terrifying force behind him. I'm not scared, I just don't want to alert the enemy. I've been looking for an opportunity so you don't have to worry. I'm not worried about you. You're overthinking it. I just think that Mion really wants a wedding, Suyu said softly. I'll give her a wedding. I'll give her anything she wants. Qin Chu said gently. Suyu nodded. He knew that Qin Chu wasn't someone who would make promises easily. His love for Huamian would only be greater than his love for her. Since Qin Chu had such a plan, then Suyu was overthinking it. After their conversation, the 2 men returned to the Su family's mansion. After a while, Qin Chu and his family left. Suyu drove his mother back to Sky Blessing Court and then went back to South Hill Manor. Looking at his watch, Suyu saw that it was already 9 p.m. He stood up and picked up his jacket. Son, are you leaving? Lady Su stood up and chased after him, reluctant to let him go. Yeah, I'm going back to the mansion to rest. Suyu rarely stayed at the mansion. You. Lady Su seemed to want to say something but stopped. Mom, do you have something to say? Suyu could tell what his mother was thinking. Lady Su nodded. Okay, go ahead. Suyu put his jacket on his shoulders and looked at his mother with a smile. I have a good friend who owns a tea house. Do you know that? Oh, is that Auntie Lee? Sue vaguely remembered. Yes. She has a niece who just came back from the UK. She's a PhD student at Yale University. She's beautiful, sensible, and well-behaved. Although she's from another city, she's willing to settle down here. I had dinner with your Auntie Lee the other day and saw her. I think. Lady Sue didn't finish her words. Sue put his arm around his mother's shoulder and smiled. Mom, how good you think she is has nothing to do with me. I don't care if she's pretty or sensible. I don't want to get married right now, so don't waste your time, okay? I'm not forcing you to get married. I'm just letting you get to know that girl first and get along as friends. If you have feelings for her in the future, it might develop. Even if you don't have feelings for her, it's good to be friends. You don't have many female friends around you now. It's inevitable that people will gossip about you. Lady Sue knew her son's temper, so she didn't want to bring it up. However, there had been too many rumors recently. There were all kinds of rumors in the circle, although they didn't dare to say it in front of her. However, those words would still reach her ears intermittently. The Sue family only had one son in this generation. He was in his early 30s, good-looking and rich, but he just didn't want to get married. Therefore, it was inevitable that people would think too much. Although Lady Sue wasn't such a vulgar person as a mother, she still felt uncomfortable when she heard people talk about her son like this. Therefore, she gritted her teeth and planned to talk to her son again. Although she already guessed that there wasn't much hope. Mom, did you hear something from someone? Sue asked. Chapter 23-22. Don't you know it yourself? Don't blame me for saying it. Even if it were someone else's son, I'd think the same. Your grandpa and dad have always had a clean reputation. Now that you're here, you can't make trouble. Mom, I'm not gay. Don't you know who I like? It's not like I don't like women. Sue felt wronged. It was one thing for others to suspect him, but now even his mother was worried. I know you're not gay, but if you keep thinking about women who don't belong to you, I think you're no different from a homosexual. Lady Sue sighed slightly. All right, I know what to do about this matter. I'll go back and investigate where the rumors came from. I'll tell them to stop before they go too far. Your method can only stop them for a while, but it can't solve the root cause. People will talk about it in the future. But my life is my own, not for others to see. Mom, think about it. If I live for others, how tiring would that be? Sue patiently tried to calm his mother down. Son, let me ask you, how long do you plan to wait? Are you going to be a bystander and watch the four of you live happily ever after? Are you going to be single for the rest of your life? Lady Sue looked at her son with concern. No, if I don't meet the right one, I can wait for them to grow up and marry them. That'll be perfect, Sue joked deliberately. You're just trying to piss me off. Lady Sue's face darkened. Okay, I'll stop teasing you. Mom, you don't have to worry about this. I think fate can't be forced. Let nature take its course. Maybe I'll meet a woman in the future and get married in a flash. Love doesn't make sense, just like how I didn't know I would fall so deeply in love with Mion back then. If that's the case, then that's great. Not to mention a flash marriage. Even if you get married with a child, I'll agree with both hands. You're so greedy, you want to have a grandson right away. You're so ambitious. Sue held his mother's face and teased her. Go. Don't make a fuss. If you want to leave, then leave quickly. Lady Sue looked at her child. She was both angry and amused. Okay, then I'll leave. You haven't been sleeping well recently, so you should rest early. After a while, I'll take you to the hot spring to recuperate. Sue finished speaking and turned to leave. Lady Sue looked at her son's back and her eyes suddenly became moist. She vaguely recalled the scene of Sue's childhood. A person's life lasts only one lifetime. In fact, time was the most ruthless thing. Lady Sue didn't know how these years had passed so quickly. In the blink of an eye, her son was already 30 years old. People of the same age as him were all married. Wei Liao, who had the best relationship with Sue, had a son who was already several years old. Although Tang Chuan was absurd, he had never stopped having women around him. The elders of the Tang family had never been so worried about him. Only Sue was still single. As Lady Sue thought about it, tears fell from her eyes. Little Yu, what's wrong? Sue's father saw that his wife hadn't returned to her room to sleep, so he went downstairs to look for her. He saw Mother Sue standing alone in the living room, looking at her son's back as he left. I'm fine. Lady Sue's voice was a little choked up. You still say you're fine. Your eyes are red. What's wrong? Why are you crying all of a sudden? Although Father Sue had a bad temper and was strict with his teenage son, he was very good to his wife. The couple had been treating each other with respect all these years. You're tuning in to the Biao's Wuxiao Chronicles YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.